Yes, guys, welcome back to another live review. And it's actually after a positive win, which is very rare to feel. But, guys, smash the like and subscribe button on the channel if you guys haven't done so already. We're going to be breaking down the Chelsea 2 Burnley 0 match. And positive performances, positive tactics as well. We minimized Burnley to one shot on target, which was just towards the final few minutes of the game, which, to be honest, even felt like a goal, which was how high the standards were of how we were playing. I think 1v1s, especially on the wings, we did brilliantly in. I thought Callum Hudson-Odoi, another brilliant man and a match-worthy performance. I'm hearing direct quotes from Liam Toomey on the touchline saying that Robbie Brady and Sean Dyche are shouting at each other because Brady literally couldn't control Callum Hudson-Odoi throughout the 90 minutes. And it's clear to see in the game as well. In midfield, I thought we controlled Burnley's midfield throughout the match. I still think the final ball could have been an improvement, but I don't want to start nitpicking, especially after a win, because we complained about a lot more through the defeats. Jorginho had a brilliant performance today. I thought Kovacic had a solid performance as well. Did want to see a final ball improve, but I thought he had a solid performance other than that. It's weird to see that goals came from the centre-back and the wing-back, though. I do think we're still struggling to track runs correctly, and that is something that we are going to see us improve on, but that's going to come in the next few games. I don't want to take this and get overly gassed with it, because that's exactly what we did a few months ago after beating Burnley in November and then going on that run of winning games straight afterwards. So I don't want us to do the same thing. I want us to just assess it slowly. I think we were good in phases. I think there was also phases where we did look really poor. Like some of the attacking third play was genuinely really bad in the first half, and we were just more relieved that we actually got a breakthrough through Cesar Azpilicueta by the end of the first half, because if not, I think we would have been going into the end of the first half with a much more negative mindset than we ended up doing because of the goal. Second half, though, game was a lot more solid, more composed, mainly because we actually had the lead by that point. That second goal by Marcos Alonso, absolutely ridiculous, and it's peak Marcos Alonso as well. I'm not going to sit here and say he had a brilliant performance. I think he was barely tested, to be honest, and the way Burnley were playing and the way Burnley was set up, there was minimal opportunities for anyone to really cost us the game, so the game was more or less in our hands. I will give credit to Thomas Tuchel as well, because the tactics were excellent. The same way, Burnley were just absolutely limited. Their midfield just stunk for long periods, so I want to be happy with it, but I also don't want to take it for granted and just get overly gassed with it. We've got a game with Spurs next. That's going to be the real test for me. Right now, we just need to get a win on the board. We've gone and we've got a win on that board now. There's still holes in the team that I do think with chemistry and with time we can improve on. But right now, let's just take the win and let's move on with it. Scott, I'll start with you. What's your thoughts?
I agree with you in the sense of, like, I think the only real negative from this game was our finishing. Like, our chance creation was so much better in this game than it was against Wolves. But I think a lot of that had to do with the fact that Burnley actually came out at us, especially the front six. The back four they had were rigid and played really well until we scored, that is. But they pressed a lot more, which meant we had a bit more space, so the chances came. I think our finishing was very poor, especially from certain players. I think Mount's finishing was terrible. I think that there were other, like Pulisic didn't have the best of games when he came on, but as an overall performance, that small or like one negative aside, I thought it was very good. I thought that Jorginho had a brilliant game. Like, people won't want to say it because it's Jorginho, but he had a brilliant game. I thought that he was easily, of the two, he was our best midfielder, easily.
Definitely.
I thought that the defence was comfortable pretty much. The only sort of two things they really had to do was the Tarkowski header at the end, which was the only shot on target Burnley had. And then the one chance that I think his name was Mbongo got at the end, but I think that was offside, or like the 80-something minute.
Oh, so that won't even count as a shot.
It wouldn't count. It was offside. Yeah, no. But yeah, no. But I thought the overall performance was very good, and I thought that we're starting to see a lot more fluidity about the team. It's like Hudson-Odoi has so much more space and so much more time to do the brilliance that we know he can do, because of where he's now playing, and it's just Tuchel's allowed players to have more freedom, and I think it's brilliant.
Exactly that, and Dag, will go to you next with this as well. Now we're near to a week of Tuchel ball. What's the biggest difference you've seen in the last 2 games? And also chat to me about the game too.
Yeah. Again, I think the biggest difference, not only is it that we're no longer, focused on using the wings as our main, like as our main focal point of attack, but the speed that we're moving the ball is the intensity that we're playing with, the passion really that we were missing out on, that we're really starting to see now. And it's
Mm.
more, I feel like this is enthusiastic football. Like I'm seeing players that want to run on the field, they want to get the ball, they're making runs to open themselves up. And just the formation that's being played, everything is working to our favor. Again, it is a low block, so most of what we do is going to be, I don't want to say favored, but it's going to look good. When you have 75% possession and you have two goals from your center backs, or not, or
Mm.
one center back and one wing back, it kind of, you feel like you may not have done as much as you want to, but at the end of the day, it was a solid performance, and I'm happy with what we got today.
Yeah, definitely, man. Tell me who your key players were for today.
Yeah. Key players: Jorginho. Um, Mason Mount did not have his finishing boots on today, but the passes that he was playing and the
Mm.
way that he was not only switching field, but he was roaming, he was making the movements that we needed, the little dummies that he was doing. Again, it was just more about the fluidity of the way that the team was playing, not only central players or just single players. But yeah, for me, of course Alonso got that goal, wonder goal. It was nice and everything, but he was kind of like um, he was kind of disappearing like Chilwell did the other day. But again, he was able to get that goal, and that's the highlight of his game. But one for man of the match for me, it's gonna have to be Callum Hudson-Odoi, because we knew he was dangerous. We know he's
Mm.
dangerous, but we thought he was dangerous on the left, right? We saw him play on the right, and we were like, maybe it's not working as well. And then now
Mm.
you see that he has a central attacker as well as a striker, and then he's able to get on the end of the pitch, right? It's just different. I mean, the only problem I had with the game was we had one too many balls going past the 6 yard box, and just there was nobody there. It was like twice that we had opportunities where we could have had a tap in, but we weren't able to finish it up. But at the end
So,
of
so you feel the negative was more the runners or the people making the final pass?
knows the runners. I'm not gonna lie. It would have to be the last person getting into the last person getting into the box. Like Pulisic, he had a couple opportunities where he could have had a tap in. He had an easy tap in, and then especially the one that Pope deflected, or he got it on his he blocked it with his leg, and then he was right there. But again, there was just a little timing. It's gonna come with game time as we go on. They'll be able to clean up because they'll know. Like one thing that I don't think we've completely understood as a team right now is that like which balls are we like the balls that we're gonna try to play. Like we need to start assessing like once the player or the defender makes a play on the ball, like where is it going to end up? Like we need to start predicting where the ball's going to end up. And then I feel like once we get that, we'll be able to start predicting like where it'll get deflected, and then we'll have an open shot. But again, that just comes with time. I feel like that just comes with time. But for today, I felt like it was a wonderful performance. Again, the main thing for me is they had zero shots on goal. Zero
Fair
shots. That's just,
point.
I mean, yeah, but I'm just gonna say not really because it was a gimme. Like if we're gonna be honest, but again, like I felt like the fact that they really didn't even pose up at any point during the game. That's what's most important for me.
Cool. Well, Tyrese, you were shaking your head a little bit during that, so let's hear your thoughts.
Actually, he was no. I wasn't shaking my hand at what he said. I was actually thinking that it was both. It was the final ball and the runners to me. I think there were. I think it was both of them. I don't think. It's a good win, but we're not the finished article yet, and at least we're picking up results. Um, during this transitional process that we're going through right now, and we're actually playing well. We dominated that game from start to finish. I don't really think
Mm.
Burnley had any threats on goal besides that Tarkowski header at the in the 90 something in the final last 30 seconds of the game. And yeah, we were just dominant. Like I personally believe that Alonso, he's the person I think everybody in here hates the most at this football club, and he actually he stepped up today. He didn't put a foot wrong to me, and he scored a brilliant goal as well. So I was really impressed. But you see, Callum Hudson, Sophie, a toy. We
Mm-hmm.
need to. Yo, that guy is brilliant. Yo, that guy is so good. You know, that guy
He's
is
so good, bro.
so
So
good,
good.
bro. He is so good, so good, bro. Like I don't get like what Lampard wasn't seeing in this kid, but man, like he's just a brilliant player, brilliant player. And he's not even playing in a position that he's usually used to playing. He's playing as a right wing back, and his tracking back is brilliant. Moving forward is excellent. The only thing that I wish that he could perfect this role, because you know sometimes when you get a new role for your first couple of games you don't play that well, and then for the Nets you have to play well. But you know, I have two man in matches today, a joint money match, and I think his performance is underrated. Kovacic. Kovacic today was immense. I really like Kovacic. I really like
Yeah,
Kovacic.
Nah,
I'm thinking
I like
50-50.
No, he's
nah,
working the
bro.
I'll let you
fastest
land.
way.
I'll let you land. Go for it.
Bro. Yeah, I can understand the reason why you guys aren't saying so, because probably the final balls that he was trying.
That's
We
why
didn't,
I
Kova,
didn't rate
Kova
his
for
but
me
final
was
but
pass.
you know,
second to
but
man of
listen,
the
Lewis.
match to Adoy.
But listen, Lewis. We didn't know. We didn't. But I didn't even know Kovacic had this in his locker, bro. Because he was so limited underneath Lampard. It was just sideways passing. This.
I know, but then what are we saying? We're saying Lampard's lowered the standards on Kovacic that much. Like, I thought he was good today. I didn't think he had a bad performance. But I've already told you, like, I respect everything you do in the middle of the park, but if you lose the ball with your final pass, then you've still
Yeah,
turned over possession by the end of it.
but I still think that was a problem for everyone today. Everyone, that was a problem today with the runners and the final ball as well. So as I said before, it was
Yeah.
both.
No, but with Kovacic, it did look more like the runs were being made. It was he
Yeah.
weren't finding the players.
yeah. At the same time, I felt like
but
it
trust-
was competitive. That's the worst part. It's that
But
it
trust
was.
me, but trust me, eventually he'll find them though. I mean, like you just need to
Yeah,
keep working.
it's no knock on his
eventually-
ability. I'm not saying Kovacic is dead or anything. I'm just saying
Nah,
I'm not gonna say he was one of the best
Yeah.
players on the pitch
Yeah.
today.
He was second to Jorginho.
I'm gonna be
in terms of
honestly,
midfield.
honestly, I'm gonna be honest here. One player that frustrated me today that I actually thought was poor was Mason Mount. I don't know about you guys, but to me, he was poor. Like so much
Yeah.
players were making proper runs, and he just kept mispassing the ball. He is one player. Yeah, Kovacic needs to work on his final long ball over the top, but that will come better. That will come over time. But Mason Mount needs to work on his passing in general, man. I do not like it. Like the thing is, yeah, when Mount was substituted and Havertz came on, as soon as he came on, he was trying to find that pass for Werner to get him behind. But Tarkowski was on Werner already, and he cleared the ball.
Yeah.
And that's immediately when Havertz came on, he knew that's what he was brought on to do. But Mount was just Mount. He made some decent forward passes, yes, but he was just back to the sideways passing that we were seeing underneath Lampard. I honestly don't think that he had a brilliant performance, and then his finishing wasn't the best either. But his energy and his pressing and his movement was what we needed today, because today wasn't a game to start Kai Havertz because he's not a physical player, and Burnley is like a very tough opposition to go up against. I think his pressing was good. I think his movement and energy was good. But other than that, like the final pass and the finishing was very poor. But other than that, I don't really think he had a really good game to me.
I disagree completely. I think he created like two of the best through balls we had in the whole game
Who?
when he came on.
Mason
Havertz.
Mount. Oh, Havertz.
Havertz.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
Havertz-
Havertz in 10
Oh,
minutes.
You're saying
I was
Havertz didn't have
"Whoa,
poor
this
through
guy's
balls?
fast."
No, man.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
respectfully
you see the
disagree
passes
about
that he
Mount. I
made.
think-
No, man.
Yeah, Havertz was good. Like he had that little 1-2 with, was it Pulisic? Was it Pulisic or was it? No, it was Kovacic. I can't remember who it was. Where he played it off. No, it's Pulisic.
Pulisic.
Where he played it off. Wanted the
Kovacic.
1-2, and Pulisic tried to go outside the foot to Werner for some reason.
Oh yeah. That was.
Yeah.
Yeah, Paulie.
I think
But I
that Havertz.
disagree about Mount. I think that Mount shooting wise, yeah, he had a poor game in terms of shooting, but I think overall play, I think in terms of I think that he worked hard, and I think he was the only one in the midfield who was doing he was doing the most, not the only one, he was doing the most running in the midfield of any of the midfielders.
Yeah, 100%.
And I think
well and everything.
And yeah, I think that the passing thing, I think that even though some passes weren't there, I think he offered a lot more in terms of the passing than Kovacic did. I think when Kovacic got on the ball, there was never a single time when I thought he was going to create something. There was too many times when there was one for Werner where he played it straight behind him, And there was another one where he went to switch the play to Hudson-Odoi and underhit it, so it went straight to the left back. So
yeah, I remember that one. And
there's
then I
too
remember
many times where it was those where he underhit or overhit stuff. There was one as well where he had a chance to either play in Werner or play it wide to Alonso, and he went
it was
straight in
Werner.
the middle.
It was
to the right back.
Werner. It was Werner. He passed it to Alonso. He passed it to Alonso when Werner was making the run. That's
Bro,
the thing.
yeah.
I miss that type of
Yeah.
I miss that sort of like Cesc Fabregas midfielder that we have that could pick a pass from the halfway lane and could pick a pass from anywhere. And we're really missing one of those. But
Yeah.
I still think that if these players we have could work on that final ball, it's gonna come good. And it showed, at least it showed today that we're going to be seeing a lot of these forward balls and a lot of these long balls that we weren't really seeing underneath Lampard. I'm happy to see it, and with time that's gonna come good.
Yeah, and it's nice to see that like we're seeing a bit more from like Jorginho now. I said last week that he does have a passing range, we just haven't seen nearly enough of it, like under Sarri and under Lampard. And it's nice to see like today we saw that over the top ball to Alonso that he ended up heading straight across goal. It's seeing stuff like that and seeing like he was actually very good. I thought today. I thought he was. There was never again like for me he was the best of the midfielders that we had in the pitch. I thought he like very assured today.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I think Jorginho did played very well today. I think he played well.
He was actually passing in between the lines today.
Yeah, but
that was the difference between him and the other three, in my opinion.
Yeah, but Jorginho is a better passing order at midfield. Yeah. There's nobody could ping a beautiful ball over the top other than Jorginho that was in that midfield today. The Jorginho his passing range is very good. It's very very good. But like we always think that he wasn't physical enough for this. He wasn't.
Oh, they giving us a match review, man.
Yeah. There's a comment here from Echo. It says Mount's attacking position, pressing, and his turnarounds with the ball are great, bro. What are you guys on? Yeah. So the problem is right.
All that's true, but his final
exactly.
All of that hasn't stated an end product.
Yeah, the problem, or not the problem, but the main point for me is when you're being played in attack, right? As much as like it's different from midfield because Kovacic, although he did miss a couple passes, he ended up having a good game overall, right? But when you're playing in an attacking position, if you're not getting those goals or assists, you don't get as much praise because that's all you're really there for. If you get what I mean. Like your main job is to get goals and assists. So when I'm not talking about what you said. I'm talking about what the comment was saying. Yeah, but I was just mentioning that like we have to understand that you can't have as good of a game in the attacking sense if you don't create opportunity.
The only concept.
Yeah, Kyle, chat to me though. What's your thoughts?
Yeah.
Oh shit, Kyle! I thought you wanted to say
Man,
Kyle.
There you go. T tactics are. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
The T tactics are working, man. The T tactics are working. People are saying, "Oh, it's only Burnley. Their midfield wasn't it." Their midfield wasn't it because we completely neutralized them. They couldn't do anything. Like even Liam Toomey was saying that Odoi was just Sean Dice and I forgot who they have playing as left back. And they basically he couldn't do anything against Odoi. Yeah, he wasn't doing anything against Odoi. They were struggling. I thought both Kovacic and Jorginho basically like completely controlled the Burnley midfield. They couldn't do anything. I think they had like zero attempts, 0 shots on target until the last until extra time. I mean, this is the same Burnley that Liverpool struggled against. So people need to just. Yeah. So the way we played, we controlled the game. I think there is something with the players and Werner because the man was crying for runs and he didn't even see the pass. They just passed it between each other and backwards. But hopefully that will disappear with time. That will disappear with time because we do need to make more like through balls towards rather than look for spaces. But hey, that Alonso goal, man, will be remembered in history. That goal was sexy as F, man. That shit was sexy, man. Like the way he stopped it on his chest. The ridiculous goal, man. Yeah, so he deserved like the play. Abraham was rightly also. Also, he did something that Lampard would never do, which he took Abraham as soon as he had a stinker, man. Because Abraham was just sliding on balls, man. It was like he was walking on ice.
But you see what I mean about him being Bambi, right?
It was a good decision from him.
I told you guys that time Abraham.
I've always said he's Bambi, but
I always said this. Like,
I don't understand because when you're
not
6
start-
foot, you can't just have your balance can't be that bad. It just can't be that
He
bad. You're not
gotta
gonna have
work.
it like
He gotta work on controlling the ball. Like his hold up play is not good enough. Like that's that, and the commentators are actually criticizing him early in the first half. That's an aspect
Even
of
the
his
Aspie
game
goal was
that he
quite
needs to
nice as well,
work
like
on.
that pass from Joe.
Yeah, I think Pope was
Yeah, yeah.
expecting.
Yeah, but the commentators, a lot of them are idiots, so it doesn't
Yeah, I
really mean
think
anything.
Pope
They
was.
just they're like, give us Lampard back. You know,
Yeah, I
it is
can't
what
lie.
it
The
is.
agenda from the
It
media
is
the
what it
last
is.
few
It's a good
days
win.
towards
Yeah, this is a
Tuchel has
good
been
point by Ralph.
absolute
Lauren Havertz
embarrassment.
would have scored today. I felt like if he had played instead of Mason, he might have been able to get a goal. Because Mason, let's be perfectly honest, Mason had some good chances, and there was a couple opportunities that just went unnoticed, that just went right past the 6 yard box. But again, it's just another one of those games where
Yeah.
it is only our second game, and as we
Yeah.
keep going, because as much as we love saying,
Bro, we won. Why are like people? It was a good performance, man. We controlled the game. We played some nice
It was
football.
like,
We won the
yeah,
game.
it was
Like,
yeah,
there's nothing to
exactly.
complain about. And
Nothing
this
to
is
complain
a
about.
second game after a new manager. Give it time.
exactly. The problem I had with the
exactly.
Fulham game was that we had, or no, not the Fulham game. Which one? The Wolves. We had like 60% possession,
Spurs.
or no, not
Wolves.
the one before that. I think it was Fulham. We had like 70% possession, but we only scored once, right? So the problem I had that I had is no longer a thing, right? So we had 70% possession, and then we scored twice.
Oh, say that again. Your mic just cut out.
Is that my mic?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. But yeah, I said that
Now,
against Fulham we had 70% possession, but we only scored once, and they had a red card, right? Today we had 70% possession, we scored twice, and we could have made it 4 or 5. So that's what I wanted to see, opportunities.
yeah. I think that's why the goals and assists will come, but at least I like to see the attempt first, and that's what we weren't seeing before, and that's so that's why it wasn't really harsh on Kovacic, because if he practiced that final ball in training for the next couple of weeks, like soon from now we're gonna see him perfect it. So that's why I was not too critical, and I think that his pressing today was needed in that midfield. Yeah, but I wasn't too sure about if Kai Havertz, this was a game for Havertz. When he came on, he actually looked pretty decent. So I don't know if he could have started.
Yeah, he has a lot of confidence nowadays.
Yeah, I think he was resting a majority of the players that he wanted to see against Tottenham.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, that's why his man management from start to finish has been pretty good. Like he
taking Hudson-Odoi off, even though like people might want him to stay on, but taking him off, letting Reece James get game time.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing, because like if Tuchel loves Hudson-Odoi and he wants him to play regularly, I'm fine. But like the problem was with Lampard and Mount, when Lampard was playing him, he'd overplay him. So I'm fine with Tuchel playing Hudson-Odoi regularly, but it's just like he needs rest like today. That's the thing I want to see in it. Because I don't want to see a Lampard Mount situation where Matt has where Hudson-Odoi has to play every game.
You know what? The fact. Yeah. The fact he's actually using our squad is gonna keep all the players on their feet.
Yeah.
So every player, whenever they play, they're going to like give their all. Under Lampard, a lot of the players were comfortable and they knew they're gonna play regardless of form. But now they're actually competing for this position. You saw when Alonso had his chance today. He was running, he was trying. Same thing with Odoi, same thing with Reece. Reece didn't even lose the game once. He didn't do anything to be dropped, yet he was dropped, and he was doing good. Havertz looks confident. I think this is like a new era at Chelsea, And I think if you're not positive about it, you're just buttered over Lampard.
Yeah, but the thing is, even if we don't play well under Tuchel, I don't mind if we don't. I just want us to try and grind out results. You know what I mean? Because until Tuchel properly implements his tactics and we get going, I think we'll be a machine under Tuchel. But if it doesn't work now, I just want to see us grind out results, because I don't mind, because like the Premier League now is all just.
Yeah, but we're playing well. I think we're playing very well.
Yeah, I think
Definitely.
I think it's just in the final third. I think it's like the final third. We're just not creating, because I feel like our build-up play was really good to get out of Burnley's press. Kovacic was really good until it got to the final third. Jorginho and Kovacic were good for the build-up play. Our build-up play is really good under Tuchel. It's just in the final third, when we actually get there, we don't really utilize like trying to score or trying to make clear-cut opportunities. That's the only problem now. They need to be fixed.
Yeah, and that's why
something that goes a little understated is I think I'll give Kovacic a bit more credit today because although Burnley do not have the pace, he was giving Alonso a little bit of protection because again, like him and Jorginho tended to stay back a little bit more, so they were protecting the backs, of course, but then he was also the pressing that they were doing the second they lost the ball, right? They were able to retain the ball efficiently. It worked well. They were able to recycle possession. And one thing that I like seeing was that, like, yes, we were sick and tired of the passing back, passing, side to side, passing backward. But now we're doing it faster. We're doing it cleaner. It's not like we're taking 5 touches and then passing it. So it's just been more efficient, like through and through, like from top to the bottom. I felt like we've just been more efficient.
I think this is the thing.
100%.
I think people, what don't understand is like it's the same with the crosses. Crossing and like passing sideways isn't a problem as long as there is intent to it and it has a purpose.
Yeah.
Under Lampard, there was too much passing sideways where it just looked like it was possession for the sake of possession. Under Tuchel, we're seeing sideways passes with intent, with the aim of it getting to somewhere. It's the same with the crosses. Completely cutting out crosses is not the aim, but it's having crosses that are of a different variety, that are measured, that you have a person in mind you want to get it to and putting it to that person. It's all about how you can do it. And the same with the sideways passing. Sideways passing and backwards passing is not a problem if it's going to a player that can then play it like forwards to another player, if it's got a purpose to it and has intent in the passes. It's when it's slow and monotonous and there's no real point to it, that's when it becomes problematic.
I mean, a problem I had with Callum as well when I was first starting to see him was his crossing wasn't that good when we were first seeing him. Like his ability to
Hey Kyle, safe for coming on, bro. Massively appreciated.
But his ability to attack him, like really.
Yeah, no worries, man. Take care.
Bless, man. You take care, bro.
But the thing is, yeah, like I don't mind passing backwards if we're just like if because we were winning, 1-0. So we don't have to go all guns hosing because I don't want Burnley to catch us on the counter because on the transition we're bad. It's just I don't want us to be constantly passing backwards when we're losing or we're drawing. That's when it becomes a problem for me. You know what I mean?
Yes, bro. If you want a link, let me know.
But like I don't mind us passing backwards to try to what's it called, open up Burnley and get us to press us more so we can find more space. Because we don't need to overwork ourselves and try to beat every team 4-5-0. I'm happy with the 1-2-0. Getting the 3 points, like it doesn't change if we win 1-0, 2-0, or 5-0. It's all 3 points at the end of the day. That's fine. I don't mind us passing us backwards today. As long as we're comfortable with us getting pressed, because I don't want to see us passing back and then when they press us, it becomes a problem, and we only really want to pass back when we got nothing on us. You know what I mean? So I don't mind it. I like it.
We actually look like a team now.
Yeah,
exactly that. One thing I do want to chat to you guys about, the small little Azpilicueta remontada that we're seeing. And with that in mind as well, I do want to ask, do you not think 3 at the back is actually going to be something that we stick with for a longer period of time than just against the teams that are sitting deep against us? Scott, I'm going to start with you. What's your thoughts?
I've called this for since Sarah was in charge. I said Azpi should be a centre-back. He's a right-back, he's a centre-back. I've been saying this. I know he got forward and scored, but overall, in terms of whole play, I think he's a centre-back. I've been like this sort of the way we're playing at the minute in terms of where he's playing fits him perfectly, and I've been saying this for so long.
100%.
Definitely his best position to me. I think with Azpi, as a right centre back, he's good because he can get forward at times, but he doesn't have the obligation to go forward. You get me? Like he can go forward. He's got the license too, but it's not like it's an obligation to go forward because you've got Hudson-Odoi as a wing back. That's why I think Azpi as a right centre back would be good. I think it helps with the transition as well because when you got 3 centre backs back who are all experienced and stuff, when you got Thiago Silva and Azpi on the back. And then maybe you have Hudson-Odoi coming back from transition as well, and then you got 2 centre mids who are gonna come back. I think it helps in the transition because if we play a 4 at the back and then we play a team that's gonna sit deep on the counter, like our transition is gonna be terrible. There's only gonna be like 3 man back, but if we play a 3 at the back, then it's easier for our transition. That's the thing.
I agree, and for me, it's always been the thing that I like most about Azpi is that he's not a fast center back that plays as a right center back. He's a slow fullback that plays as a center back, right? So his passing ability or his passing range on the right side, of course, it's good because he's been playing on the right for most of the time. But I like how, because even when we were using him at right center back under Conte, we had Victor Moses, right, who's normally was a right winger, and so he got transferred into a right wing back as well. But I just feel like we're able to shift with him in that role as well. Because, like, normally if we were to have a center back, it would be a little bit more difficult to try and shift into a 4 in the back if we ever wanted to during the game. It would get a little bit difficult to do that with a center back because he might not be as trustworthy and he might not know the roles. Or because, a big part about defending is the direction, like the attackers like really driving at you in order to maintain your balance and keep even backpedaling if you want to, right? But I feel like he has that ability compared to using like a Christensen in that right center back role. I just feel like
also one more thing I like about Aspie is because
I can back
like
Aspie over Christensen. That's a easy comparison.
Also, him just drifting, because like the team's game plan we're gonna play against, they got like the left back that's gonna go against Hudson-Odoi, the right back that's gonna go against Alonso, and then the midfield battle. But then Aspie just kind of drifts in to make a 2v1, or he drifts in to be like an inside right back. He also gives that added protection to Hudson-Odoi, who his main priority isn't defending, it's attacking. So Azpilicueta can kind of cover for him a little bit at that right back position because he can kind of drift in between the right centre back and the right back position. So Hudson-Odoi has that added protection, because you have a normal centre back there like a Christensen or a Rudiger or a Zuma and stuff. They're not really going to know how to cover the right areas because they haven't really, like, they're not going to cover it as well as Azpilicueta, because Azpilicueta is a defending right back, and that's the thing he likes to do the most when he's a right back, defend, best position. That's the thing. I think that's why I think Azpilicueta keeps him in the back three. We've got two other centre backs as well. I think it's just in between that, because if he's in a 2 centre back position as well, I don't think he wants to be that.
No. I won't rate as being a 2-man centre back. But this is perfect.
Nah. And then I don't rate him as a right back as well, because he can't go up and down. He hasn't got the legs for that to go up and down constantly. That's why I think a right centre back is the perfect mix for him, because he can go up occasionally, but more time he's going back. Yeah, that's
all
the
the
thing.
time you got cover.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I think to answer Lewis's first question about if the 3 at the back is what we're going to be sticking with, Tuchel is a flexible coach, so he tends to change up stuff a lot. So we never know. So I'm not too sure. We're not going to have as far as I think, he's not going to have like a preferred formation that he's going to play like every single game. I think he tweaks tactics based on the opponent. And
I really wanted to see, by the way.
And he's detailed because Marcos Alonso didn't even play today because he's better at the left wing, but he played him for height. That's what they said.
Yeah,
they played him for. He's a really detailed manager. Like, that's what I like about him. But back to Aspie. Aspilicueta, to me, when underneath Conte, I saw the best of Aspilicueta there, because he just looked like a world-class defender underneath Antonio Conte for those 2 seasons. And then when he came underneath Sarri and he chopped him out right back again, he didn't look like the same Aspie. And now, as Ren said, he's losing his legs, so we could do like what we did with Ivanovic and play him as a center half. And that's what we have to do with Aspilicueta, because he's still
fair play, Loss. Please
say. Sorry, guys, I can't hear you yet. I need to change.
Yeah, but
quickly, I think a back three against a team that's sitting back will be good, because it's added protection to a back line when you're transitioning. But I think against a pressing team, you might revert to a back 4, because it helps us get out the press more, because there's going to be a lot more people who are not in defense. So then there'll be more wingers, more overlapping, more overlap, more like 2v1s in situations. Whereas in a back 3, it's kind of harder, because
I say that, but Burnley pressed really well today. Like, Burnley actually came at us. Like, today we saw they might not be the best pressing team, but they actually came out and pressed us, which was surprising. We thought they'd go in the low block and sit back. The only time they really did that, as I said, was when we were putting so much pressure on them, they couldn't get out of their own third. I think they pressed us today, and we showed we could get past that press.
Yeah,
that's a great accomplishment to because Burnley players are so big and physical, and if they press you, you'll think that they'll win the press every single time.
I lost. So well. Just turned up.
We did so well.
Do you remember yesterday? I can't be honest.
Hey. I said as soon as he started, I was like, he's going to score today. He was absolutely going to score today.
It wasn't
a speak about how broken Alonso's goal was. That is the most broken goal I've ever seen.
The most Alonso player I've ever seen.
He's actually a lethal finisher. That's the worst part. Like no matter
honestly, you could make a real argument right now because Tammy was poor today, Giroud was poor against Wolves, Werner was poor today. Just start Alonso striker against Spurs.
Put Dave and Alonso.
Why not go there?
Yeah, I thought Werner wasn't even. I don't even think Werner was great. He wasn't good to me. Like, I really. But another thing that we can't on the studies that people needs to find him needs to find his runs because he makes a lot of good runs. Then there's no one that finds him, and that frustrates me. But other than that, his link up play was actually better. He wasn't that bad in terms of getting behind the dribbling and getting himself into the space and stuff. But when it comes to like just getting in front of the ball, he just doesn't look right. And then with that throw cross when he didn't even got on top of the ball properly.
Yeah.
But
oh my dear, I predicted.
If we're going to be honest, Kovacic.
I think it was better than Tammy though. I think it was better than Tammy.
I want to just touch on this comment by PC Tennis because I agree, man probably should have passed to Timo there. But also, isn't it understandable after a while for a player like Mount, if you see Werner miss so many chances that you don't? Like, that's kind of what happens as well. If the striker doesn't take chances, you
because
don't feel the confidence.
That's where I think disharmony in the squad comes from, where you'll get like when you choose actively, like it's the same thing with Real Madrid. Remember back a while ago when that story came out that Benzema was telling someone not to pass to Vinicius Jr. It comes down to you then ruin a player's confidence completely, and you get friction between the squad. If that's the case, then
Timo's confidence is already ruined. But
then it comes to a point where it's not just ruining the confidence; it's ruining the friction between the team because you're going to get
exactly what PC Tennis is saying though. Is it really turned into the Morata situation when no one wants to pass him too?
There's also the other end of the spectrum. If you look at Bayern Munich, like the way that Thomas Muller just selflessly always gives the ball over to Lewandowski. I understand it's because Lewandowski's a lethal finisher. But the amount of like supply that he gets, like, the
amount of big chances players miss, yeah. The thing is, yeah, you see Salah and he bags so many goals, but he does miss chances as well. Maybe not as regularly as what's his name, Timo Werner. If you watch games, yeah, if you watch Liverpool games, Mo Salah misses chances, Sterling misses chances, yeah, but they create so much it overshadows how like, sometimes poor their finishing is. But our problem is, yeah, Werner will miss 1 or 2 chances and we'll think, you can't finish a third or fourth. You get me? So if you just create more for Werner, you know what I mean? Some people are just not clinical. That might be Werner, but
I think it's still more of a confidence thing. Like when there was periods of time when he was in the ball, when he had the ball in the edge of his own box, and you could see that it's still a case where he's always just second guessing himself. I don't want to use the cliche as soon as he gets a goal, maybe the floodgates will start to open. But I think once he finally gets that goal, you'll see a bit more confidence in his play and it'll start to have a continuing recurring effect from there.
That is how Timo Werner plays. He's a very streaky player. Like once he scores, he doesn't stop. Like he just doesn't stop.
I think he needs to
it's always about he's one of those players that like a lot of his goals comes off a rebound. Like an insane amount of goals comes off a rebound because he uses his pace, right? Because he likes to drift wide. So by the time someone crosses in the ball and the first striker that he used to play with, either Poulsen or whoever the other one was, right? After they've already got the shot off and the goalie's blocked it, right? Or it's gone off the post, he'll run in there and just get a tap in, right? Right now, we haven't really had that efficiency from our strikers to like Giroud, of course. But let's be honest, most of his goals are coming from like headers, right?
Yeah.
And then with Tammy, he's been unplayable. Like he's literally there's just nothing he does. He just does not help the team. So it's just
been a hat trick against Luton.
Nice.
Luton.
Yeah, Giroud didn't.
Giroud didn't play.
No, but Giroud has played plenty of other games against bad teams and never scores.
No, of course. I don't think Giroud is that option as well. I think that's why I want. I don't want to say I want another striker. I don't think it has to be Haaland. It could be just another option. But if they want Haaland, I'm all for it, right?
Yeah,
but
go get Haaland.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think
Haaland's not happening.
I think
not happening.
Yeah, I think.
No, I don't think you.
If we have to get a Haaland,
if you look at the way the story is being told, it is exactly how the Kai story is being told. It's everyone's in for him, but they have to wait till next year because they can't do it this year. because they want the release clause.
Yeah, but the thing with Haaland is, as soon as any other team gets a whiff that we're interested, like as soon as United, City, Real Madrid, like Bayern, like any of these.
Said that last year though too. That's the cheeky thing about it. The one thing I will say, two things. Top 4 is massively vital in even thinking about getting Erling Haaland because he ain't joined regardless of that. And my second point, which I actually think I've lost. It will come back to the top of my head sooner or later. But yeah, Erling Haaland, it could happen, but again, same way, we're not going to get too caught over with it now. Right now, I think last season, it makes a lot more sense to say that because everyone is literally just coming off the pandemic. This season, not really as much. If they're saying,
I think it won't be so different though.
It won't be so different, but last season, nobody had money. And what we're going to say this season, nobody's going to have money again. There must be some sort of raise up from the year before.
I actually think it will be worse, personally.
Really? Okay, go on.
Real Madrid is in like $1 billion in debt. Barcelona is like...
No, because you got to think, last year, when this was the summer, people only didn't have like income from fans going to games and, less, like more issues around it for 3 months. Now it will have been a year and 3 months by the time we get to the summer that no fans were in any stadium.
They had 4 months of no TV deals around that period as well. And there's like little other things that will come into it, but definitely they got to be making more. And they would have also had 2 years worth of spending compared to that. Because remember, Bayern couldn't get Havertz because they pissed all their money away with Leroy Sané. Real Madrid were waiting for a year anyway, but now they're in more depth. They probably will have to wait for another year. That's the same thing for Barcelona, and that's cool. But I'm thinking your Liverpools, your Man Cities, your Uniteds, your Bayern Munichs, PSG.
Liverpool. I don't know. Liverpool's owners are not that big enough.
No, but I'm just saying in terms of big clubs that will still have the finances.
Yeah,
Haaland will be £62 million.
I mean, Bayern won't sign Haaland. They already have Lewandowski, so.
Yeah, I don't think.
And I think kind of the same applies for Real Madrid.
Anyway, Lewandowski going into his 30s. What's his name? Haaland, early 20s. Like, it's not to say Lewandowski's washed at this age, but it's also to say Bayern are in the position where they can get rid of their key players before they start to drop in form.
Right, but I feel like
would be the perfect replacement.
I think at this point it's a more of a matter of who like literally who wants it more. Because he's going to cost 100 mil. Like, like he's going to cost
£62 million release clause.
Yeah,
that's 2022.
The year afterwards.
That's next season.
No.
The summer they can ask whatever they want.
The year after that.
Yeah. 100 and something.
It's the year. That's why. Because if we get him this summer, we'll get him for like 100 something. But next
that's why we stand a chance.
60.
Now I'm a bit less optimistic now because we definitely have to raise funds to do that. And the thing with Chelsea, we're trying to get as much back as possible of our original transfer fees, which is why we're struggling. Because we're putting 55 million up for Jorginho. Because we're trying to get a minimum of half price on Kepa. Bakayoko, we're trying to sell for like 25-30 million pounds. And this is why we still have them on our roster. Because no one's paying for them at those prices. So if that's going to happen, Chelsea need to get rid of a lot of deadwood, and they're going to need to lower their valuation fees on a lot of them to be able to do that, in my opinion.
What just sell Werner?
Roma has a lot of money, though. So Roma has a lot of money.
I don't know. For me, I just think of the wages that these other clubs have to accommodate for, because it's like the wages that they're working on right now is actually ridiculous. Like Arsenal literally have to fire their mascot.
I know, but in the same way, it's like our wage structure is probably as bad, but you don't notice it because we have so many players on our wage structure on 100Ks a week instead of 2 or 3 players on 300K a week plus. Exactly. We've got Ross Barkley on 100K a week. We've got Bakayoko on 100K a week. I think Zappa Costa's on around 70K a week.
We don't pay all of
on over 100K a week. Who else? Marcos Alonso's on 100K a week. Hey, Ben Chilwell's the highest earner on 190K.
No. Kante is the highest earner.
Wait, we've disputed this before. So what is that? Is the one I'm talking about base wages before bonuses?
No. Kante, I don't know where you read this from, but Kante, when he signed a new deal, I think was it at the start of Sarri, or was it on the Sarri? Because he's on nearly 300. He's like by quite a bit the highest.
Let me get the article up. I'll put it in the private chat. Yeah,
no,
this
honestly,
is the one
he's on nearly 300k. Kante is, trust me.
Yeah, like Conte is the highest.
Yeah, but it's formation. That's where
Yeah, that's the one I'm looking at. It's in the private chat now.
Get that top on.
Sorry, man. I'll leave you to it. My bad. That's on me. Fuck's sake. But yeah, well, what was I even talking about now? Yeah, fucking. That's the only way I see us getting Haaland is if we sell at least 4 or 5 of our players first in order to do that.
Yeah. But the same will go for a lot of clubs, I still think. Like, okay, a Man City is maybe an exception, but I don't think City wants Haaland. Realistically, he doesn't really suit Pep, in my opinion. I could be wrong, and he could want him anyway, right? Man United is I don't know if Man United will go. I mean, they will try, but I don't think I don't know if he'll go to United. I don't know. I just don't feel like that. I don't think they want another Raiola player anyway.
I don't think Haaland is a City type of player. I think Lautaro Martinez more suits him than Erling Haaland.
Yeah, but Lautaro Martinez ain't going to leave.
Yeah, but...
Wait, who's that?
Background.
Oh, Bitmus, is that your background, bro? Yeah, I think that was your background still. Yeah, that's cool. Nah, it's probably something for the kids, I guess. Then.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, I have a question for you guys. So
yeah, no worries, man. It's cool.
I have a question real quick. So in America, the way contracts are sorted for athletes, they get paid more in the beginning years, like in the beginning years of the contract, and then less toward the end of it. Like, is that how it is in football?
Rarely. There's a few occasions, but very rarely.
Because like the link that Lewis sent, it looked like it does say that Ben Chilwell is the highest earner by like a good, what was it, £40,000?
To be honest, he might not be wrong. Maybe this is just something we don't know about. Because 100%, when Kante signed his deal, they said he's on £295,000 or £290 or something.
Might be wrong then. But
as in, if what he said is true and they get paid less the longer the contract goes on, maybe, I don't know.
No, because here's the thing: Ben Chilwell as a highest earner is a wild statement in itself. So you probably are right in that. Christmas, so we haven't heard from you. What's your thoughts on today, bro?
Honestly, I didn't watch the first half, brother. I was sleeping, man. Stayed up and played Ultimate Team, so I missed the first half. But coming from the second half, watching it, very, very good team performance. Maybe. Some of us, and when I say some, not the panel, like in Chelsea fans in general, we can stop giving Kovacic and Jorginho some stick, we can keep off them a bit, because it goes to show you, bro, these players were playing very well at the start of the season. And when I said that in the first time we spoke, I said that there's something off about the dressing room. You could see like a change. There's something wrong, and I think that was a problem. Something was wrong in the dressing room, and you guys can't tell me that after 2 games of a new manager, these guys that we were saying weren't good enough are now good enough. It has to be something. It was a virus, and we got rid of the virus, and everyone's playing well again. So
that's a bit harsh. Don't call Frank a virus. Come on.
No, but I mean, like, I don't, not in a bad way, but just to add to the convo, man. I'm not a virus then, the problem then, whichever way you want to put it.
Yeah. Although we will have to wait and see first, sorry to interrupt, whether Kovacic can actually do this for longer, because Kovacic has always had a 2 or 3, 4 game period where he was really good, and then he goes to doing nothing again for 2 months. We don't know that yet.
What about last year?
Yeah, also, Vitmus, I do want to say, because you did miss the first half, I was on the watch along. Like, credit to Kova, middle of the third, excellent performance. But again, the final ball killed him so many different times today. Like, Timo Werner was making an excellent run at least twice, and the pass was just so below par. Other than that, I thought it was an excellent performance. And obviously, this isn't anything to say I don't like him as a player. But it's this final pull that keeps holding him back. And I feel like that's the only thing separating him from being a very good midfielder and a world-class midfielder.
Agreed.
Well, the manager, it depends on what the manager can do for him in terms of, helping his growth going forward. I think, like, if he listens and maybe put some more effort in how he plays, then he can get to that level. But he's a good working midfielder, in my opinion, still.
good working midfielder. Like, definitely nowhere near one of our worst midfielders. That's not what I'm trying to say anyway. I just think still more to his game that I want to see improve, but we're like 80% there, in my opinion. It's the final ball. That's all I want to see, and that's it.
We do need a forward scoring goals at some point. Like, we can't rely on our defenders like Alonso and Aspie to score goals every time. Unless we start playing Alonso as a striker, then it's fine. But until then, we need to get whether it's Werner, Tammy, Giroud, Pulisic, Hudson-Odoi, Mount. We need to get these guys scoring. It's not like they didn't have the chances. Pulisic probably should have scored the one that thingy Hudson-Odoi laid back for him. Tammy didn't really have a chance today, but he was just poor. Werner, in my opinion, should score the one that again Hudson-Odoi sets up for him. Mount could at least get one of his 3 shots on target. Not saying he has to score them, but he should at least get them on target, not in row set. So we do still need that, but you can't really complain. Like, everything's going better and better, in my opinion. 5 days in only, guys.
There's a good question here by Berat Boschkipe. He said, what do you think Ben Chilwell's situation will be after Alonso? This is an interesting question because if we recall back to the summer, right? Ben Chilwell was full-on Lampard signing. Full-on. Like, half of the fan was completely, like, the fan base was completely, like, no one, there wasn't a consensus agreement on the situation. Some of us wanted Tagliafico, some of us wanted Telles, some of us wanted Chilwell, some of us wanted Reguilon, we wanted other options, right? So this is a good question. I think it's a good question because it's such a Lampard signing. You think Tuchel might have other ideas?
I don't think so. The only reason
I said this is gone.
The only reason he didn't play today is because when Tuchel said that he was looking for height, so that's what he did. Marcos. I don't really think that was necessarily anything to do with Chilwell's performances or that he doesn't fancy him or anything. I just think he played him for height because the guys are tall, and but Chilwell is good in the air, so I don't think Tuchel knows that about him yet. I don't think he knows that about him yet. So I guess he just played Alonso because of height.
Yeah, I agree.
I understand
that. I'm talking about the fact that, especially since once he scored, like for one, he scored, right? That unfortunately we have to give him credit for that, right? And
100%.
And it was a better performance than what Chilwell did last time out against Leicester, right?
But only the goal.
Yeah,
Alonso didn't do anything else better than Chilwell.
Of course, but
I did say like
Chilwell disappeared in that game. Like, he wasn't there. Like,
I disagree.
Which game? By the way,
the Wolves game. I apologize. I meant the Wolves game.
Like, he was bad, but same way in this game, Alonso literally couldn't do anything to ruin this game for us. Like, we were in dominance for most of the game. We had majority of possession. Burnley had barely any opportunities to do anything. It was like, great goal by Alonso. Good performance.
Yeah.
I like
that's about it.
Yeah, but
I can't really give him too much past that.
Yeah, I do expect Chilwell to start against Spurs just because we will need a bit more defensive, stability, and also especially if Spurs are without Kane, they don't have any tall players. So the whole reasoning of apparently why Tuchel started Alonso today won't apply in the slightest. And obviously Chilwell is also faster than.
What I can see him
could actually go to.
What I can see him doing is playing Hudson-Odoi left wing back and James at right wing back, because they're much more attacking on the left hand side, which that's where you'd require the more defensive like capabilities, and on the right hand side they're a lot more easy to be got at. So with even
might also change formation. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yo, in my opinion, I think he's just trying the players. He used well last. Then but we don't have a preseason for him, so he's losing those. He has used these 2 games to see his best choice going into the Spurs game. So, maybe we could be wrong. He might use Alonso again, just on the fact that he scored a goal, as Doug said. So, I said this when we were saying, I don't remember who I said it, but I said it, that everyone has a chance with a new manager. Alonso is coming back into this team.
That is true. I honestly don't really mind Alonso at left wing back.
No, but I don't mind him either. I don't mind Alonso, you know.
I never want to see Alonso.
I don't mind him. I don't trust him, man.
Left wing back, I don't mind.
Lampard made the man look awful, brethren. We are human beings. Everyone makes mistake. You can't do someone like that after. I mean, he was wrong the way he reacted after being subbed off. But come on, he made one mistake that led to a goal. How many other players in that same West Brom game made a mistake that led to a goal?
We can say that, but that's just for this season. Like if we go into last season and then the season before that, I can come
even
up with like
Conte's second
millions
season.
of errors.
Yeah, but in those errors, we didn't lose most of those games back in those games that we're going to say about going back. We didn't lose them. You get
couple. A couple.
No, if we can really remember.
I'm not gonna lie. Alonso kind of cost us some games, man. But left wing back,
he's cost us a lot of games.
Just the West Ham game. Don't you remember that last season?
West Ham game?
Oh,
yeah, the 3-2. Yeah, that's because
that was all Alonso that goal. All Alonso.
Yeah, because I didn't track back with Yarmolenko. Yeah, but I mean, it's a manager's job to deal with the situation more professionally, though, bro.
I will say at the very least, he's played Alonso in the best possible match to suit him, because it was going to be an attacking-based game. We're going to have the majority of possession. We weren't going to have to deal with a lot of attacking threat from the opposition. It suits Alonso's game. So I will give you that. You got to find the best situation to play these players in. This game was the best situation to play Marcos Alonso in. Can I say that for a lot of other Premier League teams, though? Not really. Not really. No. I can say it for Burnley, because it is Burnley. Like, we'll say Burnley beat Liverpool. Liverpool's finishing was horrendous in that game too. They should have killed Burnley off before they even got the penalty. Liverpool lost themselves that game. Liverpool also conceded a penalty that they scored from. So we can't use Liverpool as an example for that.
We didn't concede a penalty, though, so we still did well.
Exactly. Yeah, we won the game. Like, we'll take it for what it is. It's a victory. It's a W. But we all got overhyped back in October, November. I'm not getting overhyped again.
No. Let's be overhyped. It's more fun when we're hyping. Do you know what I mean? Like, when we're positive and we're happy. I love a bit of overhyping. Why not? It's the same as like just hype up Mason Mount, just hype up Hudson-Odoi. Who knows how long they'll play this well?
I will happily hype up.
Excellent games today. I can say that. Also, Thiago Silva as well. 100%. Big up the donation from Jesters. He was quietly excellent today. Him and Asper.
Yeah,
no one's going to speak too much about it. But his passing from deep. Excellent, man.
Yeah.
We speak so much about it, but he was so good today. Another great performance.
What about Rudiger? Brilliant. I know, Lewis, you don't like Rudiger. What do you thought about Rudiger's performance?
I didn't really notice him too much, to be honest. I'll be real. I don't even think we spoke about Rudiger at any point during the match. I'm not going to say he did anything wrong. Yeah. I didn't notice anything wrong. Solid performance.
He didn't do anything wrong. Solid performance, yeah.
Yo, this game, we can't judge the players from this game. It's too easy, bro. Spurs game. The Spurs game. We can give them a proper analysis.
Yeah.
Analysis on them.
But they're not going to score. Their main source of creativity is missing, so I don't know where they're going to get the chances from.
What do you mean? Spurs are gonna give you more space, Brethren, and for attack. They're not gonna stick up that deep like Burnley and Wolves.
Watch Jose Ball. They're gonna optimistic the last game, and the football was shocking.
I mean, like, for sure, though. There will be more opportunities against Spurs than Wolves and Wolves.
I don't know about that. They will have more opportunities, that's for sure. Because we had plenty of opportunities today. We could have scored about 6, realistically.
Yeah.
But guys, I just clicked in for a little second. I'm gonna dip again. Subscribe to Lewis if you haven't already. Smash the like button. Subscribe to me if you can.
As well, Loki, I think we're both gonna have to dip because I'm gonna have to get set up for the phone in as well. But guys, big up everyone who's joined in. The link to Ryan and KH's channel are in the description below. The link to Lawrence's channel and Vitmus's are in the title, so check them out and smash the like and subscribe button. And we'll see you guys for the live phone in about 25 minutes. Tyrese, what are you gonna say, bro?
Yeah, just big me up, and you forgot to big me up, bro.
Oh shit, yeah, I forgot to drop the shout out. Yeah, I'll drop the shout, bro. Until then, guys, take care and up the Chels. What's up?